Alright, this is Kimberly Parenteauis, and then this is my fiance, Robert Hackworth.
Hi.
He's a bit camera shy, and this is our good dog, Oliver. So I guess we're going to be talking about our COVID-19 experience. Remember when all the supermarkets were completely empty and a lot of people were pushing each other trying to get the last things?
So big at COVID-19. It was pretty interesting. It was kind of funny that most people didn't seem to be able to accept that there were things that had changed. Like, you can't get a car. A lot of shelves are going to be empty. There's going to be an entire herd of people at every single checkout line. That was interesting.
Yeah, I just remember my mom asking us to go on a casual shopping trip, and she's like, "Oh, see if they have like this or that," and I'm just like, "Mom, the shelves are empty. You just get what is there."
Yeah, that definitely took some getting used to for a lot of people.
Yeah, I remember I took a job as an emergency grocery stocker at Stater Brothers for a bit. And oh my god, the amount of people who would say, "When's this going to be back in stock?" I don't know.
What was funny is that growing up, I was raised by someone who was kind of in the kind of baby boomer era age range, and apparently back then it was just an actual common cultural thing that you could get a job by just going into a place and insisting. And a lot of the advice that I would get in terms of getting a job would be along those lines, but that wasn't really applicable to the modern day anymore. Yeah, it took the pandemic happening for that to actually be a viable thing, and that was just a funny thing. Something that used to be a cultural staple completely fell out of relevance, basically, and then finally came back because of this.
Yeah, that's when employers realize, "Oh man, we really need workers fast, ASAP."
That's why it was actually kind of nice getting somewhat of a breath of fresh air in terms of the job market, where the seller of the labor is actually having a little bit more control for once than the buyer.
Yeah, because I think I applied there like on a Monday and then started working on a Tuesday, like the next day. I'm just like, "Oh man, okay."
For me, it was the same getting a job at a ramen restaurant called Yoshiharu. I was able to go to one location, same day went to a different location to talk to the manager at the second one, and the very next day got the job, basically.
Oh yeah, weren't we even able to like negotiate like what location you want to work at too?
Oh yeah, because they basically asked, given that we went to two different locations in the same day, they were basically willing to ask, "Hey, which one do you want to go to?" I'd never dealt with that either, because no matter what place I worked at, you always had to essentially take whatever location, hours, anything like that. It seems like there definitely was a cultural shift going on that I don't really see anyone talking about too much, but I do appreciate it.
And then there's also, about school when everything went online. I mean, I was in the middle of my class when the teacher said, "Yeah, we're all going to be online now, so everyone, get off of the school campus." That was crazy. Were you on campus when that happened?
No, because a lot of my classes at the time, I think, were already online anyway. So for me, it was kind of a seamless thing with classes. I basically just kept doing what I was already doing. But I don't remember being physically on site during that time. I think that was actually the first semester where I did that.
Yeah, I remember it was just like, a break before my next class, and everyone's on edge about like, "Oh man, COVID, what's gonna happen next?" So, I sit down in my class, and, instead of learning about the subject, everyone wants to know what's gonna happen right now concerning like being at school.
Yeah, that's why it was kind of a weird scenario, because I guess for our experience, it's kind of different for me in that it just became a seamless transition, but for everyone else, they seemed like they were getting ripped off in a way of the education, because in those days of, "Oh, are we going to go online? What's going to happen? All this shit. Oh, are we going to catch it?" It seemed like a lot of people were missing out on the actual material of the class, whereas for me, who was already doing online and just continued it, because it was already built to be online, we just kept doing it at our pace, but had an extra thing added to the Zoom section where we could talk to each other about our experience, like that. So it seemed like the people who were already doing online classes had a whole different experience than the people who didn't.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. The meaning of online classes completely changed. Because back then it was just like, hey, click on this link and do the homework when you feel like it. Nowadays people think, oh, I gotta be in my Zoom class.
Yeah, that's definitely what probably was the biggest change for me that I still have a hard time coming to terms with, is that my whole time growing up, because my mom tried doing classes at Cerritos College while she was raising me when I was in elementary school, and from what she told me back then and what I experienced myself, online classes were always for someone who has a busy life. So for like, oh, the single mom trying to, go to school to get her degree or something, or the person who wants like 2 jobs and, wants to learn a little bit to, get a better certificate at one of those jobs. Online classes were always advertised to them for the convenience aspect. That completely went out the window because the whole thing that people went there for isn't applicable anymore because people still wanted their routine.
We're never gonna have that again. Well, I mean, no, wait, then again, a lot of classes are starting to be in person only again. So.
That's why it also kind of opened my eyes to certain subjects. They kind of can't really be taught in an online setting. You kind of need the human aspect of being in person just to be able to comprehend certain topics, it seems.
Oh yeah, like those nursing majors and how there's like a lot of memes saying, hey, FYI, don't get sick in the next 10 years because your doctor definitely cheating.
Yeah. Or don't ever go in a building designed in the next 10 years because that architect definitely skipped classes.
Oh god, yeah. Oh wow. They just wanted 3 minutes and we're at 7 minutes.
Wow.
I don't know.
We deliver.
Anything else you want to say?
Not really.
I guess I got nothing now, so we're gonna stop the video now.